own party. But the young girls on the right promoting this like tradwife bullshit. I just want to make sourdough for my husband. That's great. I'm all for it. I promote traditional values. I understand. I have been working since I was very young. I don't really plan on stopping working. I suggest you find a hobby that makes you money. But you guys, guess what? Guess what, baby girl? That lifestyle working out, a man, a provider, you just get to sit at home, bake bread every day, slim to none. I would say none that's going to work out for you, or quite literally anyone you know. You're actually setting yourself up for failure, because it could not be easier, if that's what you're going to pursue, to be trapped by a man. Okay? Also, let's bring some other things to the table besides sourdough. Guys want to be mentally stimulated as well as physical, okay? But I'm just like, please, you guys are too young to be promoting this. And also, by the way, it's cringe. You guys are cringe, okay?
Okay, so Emily says trad life is BS. Savannah, what say you?
So I actually don't like the buzzword tradwife, because again, I think it's a buzzword in culture, and there's a lot of things tied to it. But
Yeah,
I would have
when
to
I was a
disagree.
kid, we just called them wives.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, and now, I would say stay-at-home wife would probably be the proper term for it. But, I would have to disagree. I think that there's a very narrow perspective that when you are a wife who doesn't make her own income and the man is providing, that you are trapped by a man. I mean, I will post things about my husband providing for me, and they're like, wait till he leaves you in 20 years and goes and finds a younger girl and leaves you with absolutely nothing. And the truth of the matter is that doesn't really happen, right? Like 70 to 80% of divorces are filed by women who were unhappy or just bored. It really doesn't happen where the man just leaves you with absolutely nothing. I think too, like my marriage personally, Christ is at the center of our marriage. And if you don't have that foundation, then of course it's going to fall apart. Of course there's going to be infidelity. Of course you're going to be looking elsewhere, because you don't have that foundation. And couples that pray together stay together. Like we pray every single night, and Christ is at the center, and we're going to church together. And we did that from the beginning of our relationship all the way up until now. So I think bringing Christ back into the marriage is really important. And of course, that's where the traditional roles come in. I believe that when you are going 50-50, which is like this new progressive marriage, that it causes a lot of competition, and there's actually not any contribution, that the man and the woman are just competing with each other, because they're both waking up at 6 a.m. They're rushing to get ready. They're going to their 9 to 5. They come home. They're absolutely exhausted. They're splitting the chores. They eat a quick dinner, scroll on their phones, go to bed, repeat the same cycle over and over again. And it's not working out. And you've seen the divorce rates go up, and you've seen the birth rates plummet. And so bringing tradition back in, and I'm not saying we all have to be in 1950s gowns and cooking from scratch.
Wouldn't be the worst idea, but okay, sure, you don't have to.
No, it would be great. It would be great. But I think that bringing back the idea of the husband being the head of the household and the woman being his help, like it was in the Bible, like it literally says in the Bible, would help a lot of marriages.
Emily, does that do anything for you?
No, I stand on everything I said. You know what the funniest part about my video was? I mean, that's literally just common sense. You can't even argue with any of it. There's statistical data on my side for every single thing I said, especially if you're getting married super young, the odds of that working out. The difference is I pray it does work out for everyone, but also I'm just looking at things from a perspective. But it's funny because I was like, I must have triggered something in all these housewives, because I was like, how happy are you guys that you flood my comment sections wishing horrible things to happen on me? And I'm like, so you're not really proving my point that I think any of you are happy. And yes, not even just the fact of divorce. Divorce is what? Probably 50% in this country, potentially more.
It's a little less, but yeah, it's high.
Yeah, it's high. People lose their jobs. People die. People get sick. There's a lot of factors to that. It's also like, I don't understand these women who claim to be so happy that are, telling me to kill myself online because I have an opinion, which is what I do for a living. I'm like, I promote women can have it all. I work full time. I also cook. I also clean. I do everything. It's not something to be put down, which is the problem with these trad wives are hating on women that work. And it's like, we're not forcing you to work. I like working. It makes me happy. So I'm like, do you? But this pressing this life on everyone, it's not for everyone. And it's also not going to work out for everyone.
So Emily Wilson says guys want to be mentally stimulated as well as physically. Look, hate to break it to her, but even for the most altruistic man alive, mental stimulation is way down the list of what attracts him. I'm not saying it's not on the list, but men aren't picking wives based on resumes, GPAs, or career milestones. This may be one of the biggest misconceptions women have, that their career achievements make them more desirable to men. They don't. And just keep in mind that Emily introduced the word triggered into the conversation, and like Jen Psaki will circle back to that at the end of the video. I want to like her, she's conservative, but she claims women in her comments must be unhappy. Well, Emily, you insulted them. You called them cringe. You're telling me you're shocked they responded? I think you expected and wanted them to respond. And just to be clear, replying to you online does not mean their marriages are miserable. Maybe you're just too steeped in feminist talking points to recognize what real happiness looks like.